Hello everyone and good day. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for our first topic for today's video, first, before we proceed into the different sectors of science, different topics regarding science, let's first define what is science. So science has many definitions. It can be a verb, a noun, a process, but in general, the word science refers to the study of the structure and behavior of our natural world and everything that surrounds us through a systematic method of observation, experimentation, and testing of theories against the evidences that we gathered in order to prove such theory to be correct. So basically, class, science is a way of getting the process into arriving with the proper answer through a systematic structure of gathering of information and evidences, such as we can arrive with a specific conclusion which could give us a definite answer, and that could be considered as a universal fact. So science itself is beautiful because it is a systematic process by which humans, especially scientists, use now in modern days. For example, science as a process is a systematic process, and it is utilized by scientists in such way that if they have observed something and they seem curious about it and they want an explanation of how something behaves, just for example, a tiny organism. If that organism behaves in such manner, then it would poke into the scientist's mind. Why is this creature behaving in such manner? So, in order to further study about that organism, they use the science, what we call the scientific method. First, we observed, we gathered evidences, facts about that organism, and by testing it thoroughly through various stages of experimentation, only until then, after completing that tedious process, lengthy process, time-consuming process, then we can conclude on what that organism is all about, how it behaves, how it reproduces, and how it interacts with the natural world. So basically, that is science as a process. By definition again, science is the study of the natural world, which is acquired through observation, gathering of information, through evidences, and thorough experimentation to prove that a theory is really a solid universal fact. So science is divided into different categories, but let's focus first on natural science. So basically, the natural science has three major branches, namely the physics, chemistry, and biology. So let's get onto the first major category of natural science, which is physics. So what is physics? By definition, physics is the study of how everything around the physical world behaves. So this includes movement, heat, energy, electricity, and such things that produce any physical movement. From the word itself, physics, it's the movement of things. So just for example, I have this pen right here. If I would lose of my grip on it, then it would fall. But then, why? Why is my pen falling when I try to lose my grip on it? It's basically because of gravity. And gravity is part of physics. This explains the phenomena between the force that surrounds us, that pulls us towards that center of mass, which causes gravity to be in effect in a specific place of matter. So, physics is also concerned with the different things not even visible to the naked eye. So just for example, atoms. Atoms are consisted of electrons, neutrons, and protons. These subatomic particles behave. They constantly move through space-time dimension because they are governed by the laws of physics. Physics is the one that tells them on how to move, because that's what physics is all about, a physical movement. And secondly, we're on to the second major category of natural science, which is chemistry. So apart from physics, what distinguishes chemistry? So by definition, chemistry is the study of matter, its properties, its components, and especially on how it interacts with its environment, with the natural world. From the name itself, chemistry, basically if we have other definition of chemistry, this refers to a bond, the chemistry between humans. So into the scientific realm of chemistry, chemistry also studies about the properties of matter. For example, let's have here again my pen. This pen is composed of different elements. But how did such elements combine together that they formed this pen, which is made of plastic? Right? So basically, class, chemistry is a study of the structure of matter, what is its properties, and how it interacts. It creates chemical changes that leads to new products, new, what do you call this one? New bonds. For example, a molecule is a component of more than one element. So they bond together, they have chemistry. So that is what chemistry is all about. To sum it up, it's like the interaction of elements, of molecules, such that it forms and derives with a specific product. And on to the third category, major category of natural science, we have biology. So from the name itself, bio, which means life, and logy, which is study. So that is the study of life or study of the living. So basically, biology encompasses all the living things that is within our planet, and maybe, we don't know yet, outside of our solar system, there might be other biological entities that exist. Basically, biology is a study of life. But what is life? There are major characteristics to prove that something has life and can be considered as under the umbrella of biology. So we have first a characteristic of a living thing maintains homeostasis. It has internal processes to keep it on thriving within its environment. Secondly, a living organism has this response to a stimuli and response within itself and from its environment. So for example, I myself am a human living being. If someone will touch me, that's a stimulus, and as a response, I will turn my head over to see who tapped my shoulder. So that is one characteristic of a living thing. And another is that living things, they move. They have cellular processes. Maybe you can see some of them moving literally, but within their internal structure, there is a movement of process, which can also go back to the first characteristic, which is homeostasis. And lastly, another characteristic of a living thing is that it reproduces. And it consumes energy, right? Because how can things move without energy? So basically, a living thing, all living things which has these characteristics, maintains homeostasis, has an order, responds to a stimuli, produces movement, and someone that reproduces. So that is considered as a living being, or a living thing, and all of those things that contains or exhibits such characteristics falls under the umbrella of biology, because basically biology is the study of life. Even those microorganism that is invisible to the naked eye, they're under the umbrella of biology. So basically, class, all of those three natural categories of science, the physics, chemistry, and biology, we can rank them in such hierarchy that tells us about our natural world. If we'll rank it from first to last, physics will be at the top, because physics governs all the properties that creates movement. So physics tells us how to move. And second will rank is chemistry, because chemistry tells us on how to interact. It produces molecules, produces compounds that is beneficial or we can use in our daily lives. Because, first of all, physics tells how the electrons will move, and chemistry tells us how those electrons or how those atoms will interact, such that it forms compounds which might lead to something that it is essential to life. And that brings us down to the last one, which is biology. We have life because there's physics, who tells how to move, chemistry on how to interact, and now the product is biology, life itself. Those macro or micromolecules are products of chemistry, but then they work together in order to form a system that sustains a living being. So first, again, we have physics at the hierarchy, top of hierarchy, physics, chemistry, and lastly, biology. So that's all for today for our basics of science and its categories of natural science, the physics, chemistry, and biology. I hope you learned something from this video as of today, and I'll be posting more content soon regarding science as we go on traversing our path towards the path of science and learning all about our scientific world, our natural world, and how it behaves, how it's structured, and such as to how we can utilize it to such extreme that is beneficial to our daily lives as human beings. So thank you for watching, and goodbye guys. See you in the next video.